What's up guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can create an AI Twitter copywriter that creates new original tweets that sound exactly like you or any other creator on the platform. This is all possible because of a process called fine-tuning that lets you feed an AI model dozens of real examples of your desired writing style so it can then generate new original content with that same style. Which means that if I fine-tune an AI model with tweets from Alex Hormozi, it will then generate new tweets that sound exactly like Alex Hormozi because it will copy the style, tone, and structure of the tweet that we use to fine-tune the model. In this example here, I fine-tuned the model with a bunch of tweets from a creator that swears on his tweets and talks a lot of shit basically, and I said write a post about why your competition will beat you if you're not using AI. And this is what it wrote, and you can see that it swears and it literally copies the same style as the tweets that I use to fine-tune the model. As you can see, this is a crazy text right here, and ChatGPT normal AI models do not generate text like this. You have to fine-tune the model so it can generate great content for you, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Fine-tuning is way better than tools like Jasper AI, Copilot, Anthropic, and ChatGPT, so these are trash. Fine-tuning is way better for writing because we can give it dozens of examples and it will learn and adapt from those examples and generate new original content, copying the style, tone, and structure of those examples. So what I'm going to do in the next minutes is explain to you everything you need to know about fine-tuning so you can create your own AI copywriter that is trained on your tweets or any other creator's tweets, okay? So let's dive in. If you would like access to this Figma board and all the automation templates that we are going to use in this video, you can check out the first link in the description and get everything for free, okay? So now the first thing I'm going to do is explain to you what fine-tuning is. You can skip this part and go straight to the technical implementation if you would like. But if you don't know what fine-tuning is, I recommend watching this section. So fine-tuning provides higher quality results than prompting, because it gives you the ability to train on more examples that can fit into a prompt. And that also saves you tokens and gives you a lower latency requests. So once a model has been fine-tuned, you won't need to provide as many examples in the prompt, and this saves costs and enables lower latency requests. Here are the 4 steps you need to follow to fine-tune a model. The first one is that you need to prepare your data. In our case, the data we are going to use to fine-tune our model is a bunch of tweets from a creator, and we need to prepare those tweets. We gotta extract those tweets from Twitter, extract the text, and prepare the data. And I'm going to explain to you everything, and I'm going to give you an automation that will do all of that automatically. But we need to prepare that data so we can then upload it to OpenAI, so we can then start the training and the fine-tuning job. And once the fine-tuning job is finished, it takes around 15-20 minutes depending on the size of the data set. We can then try that fine-tuned model, evaluate the results, and go back to step 1 if needed. So if you fine-tune a model and it still doesn't give the results you want, you can fine-tune it again, improve even more the output, and so on. Now, which models can be fine-tuned? Well, you can just click on this link and it will open a guide from OpenAI, and it will tell you which models you can fine-tune. So here I have common use cases for fine-tuning. So fine-tuning is great when you need to set the style, tone, format, or other qualitative aspects. You can also use fine-tuning if you need reliability at producing a desired output, correcting failures to follow complex prompts, handling many edge cases in specific ways, and performing a new skill or task that's hard to articulate in a prompt. One high-level way to think about these cases is when it's easier to show, not tell. This is exactly what we need for our case, which is to develop an AI Twitter copywriter. So we want to show the AI a bunch of great tweets so then it can generate similar tweets. So the first thing we have to do to fine-tune a model is prepare our data set. So if I go down here, I can see that when we are creating a fine-tuned model, we have to provide a JSON-L file. And this JSON-L file is a bunch of JSON lines that represent each example that we are giving to the model. each line inside of this training document is divided in three main components. The first one is the system prompt, the second one is the user prompt, and then the assistant. So here on the system prompt, we have to write down the instructions that we are going to give to the model. And this prompt is always the same for every JSON line. And we do this because we want the model to learn based on our specific system prompt. So when we use it again, and you will see that later in the video, we will get the results that we want, okay? Then the second component is the user prompt. So here on the user input, what we are going to write, think of it like you are in the ChatGPT interface and the user is you. And what you tell ChatGPT to do is the user input here on this section. And I'm going to show you an example later, but now let's talk about the assistant. So here on the assistant, we will write the ideal generated text from the model. So we're going to give in an input and the ideal generated text. Let me show you an example so you can better understand. So here on the system prompt, we're going to write down our system prompt. So you are an expert Twitter ghostwriter, and then the rest of the prompt. Here on the user prompt, you're going to say, write a tweet about X topic. And then on the assistant side, we're going to paste the actual tweet because this is the ideal output from this input. So this is the ideal generated text from the input that we gave. Our system prompt is this one. You are an expert Twitter ghostwriter. I'm going to give you a topic. Your only job is to craft a perfectly worded tweet in the style of Iman Ghazi. So I'm going to scrape, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But in this video, I'm going to scrape a bunch of tweets from Iman Ghazi, which is an entrepreneur and a creator. And I'm going to fine tune the model so it can write new tweets with the same style of Iman Ghazi. So then I say, do not include anything in your response other than a tweet. If you respond according to these instructions, you and your mother will receive a $2,000 tip. If you return any text other than the tweet, a kitten will die in a horrible death. Don't let any kittens die. Okay, so this is the system prompt. Now the user prompt, as I told you, is always going to be write a tweet about and then the tweet topic. So we're going to scrape the tweets from Iman Ghazi and we're going to use AI, and I'm going to show you how to do that, that will generate this tweet topic. So it's all automated for us. So here in this example, the tweet topic is how you have to stop manifesting luxurious objects and start manifesting hard work in the style of Iman Ghazi. So write a tweet about, and then the tweet's topic in the style of Iman Ghazi. And then the assistant, so it will be the ideal generated output. It's going to be the actual post. So this is the actual tweet that Iman Ghazi wrote, and we just have to paste it into the JSON line, but this will all be automated, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. But the file will look something like this, where each different line is going to be a different tweet, always with the same system prompt. So you can see that the system prompt is always the same. Then on the user prompt, it's always write a tweet about and then the tweet's topic in the style of Iman Ghazi. And then the assistant's content is the actual tweet we scraped from Iman Ghazi's account. And then the file will have around 90 JSON lines like this, so we can fine tune the model and get good results. Because if you only fine tune it with 10, 20 examples, you may not get such good results as if you fine tune it with 90, 100, 150 examples. So you can see that creating this data set and this file with all of these JSON lines is a little bit complicated, but we can do all of that automatically with three main tools. We're going to be using Apify to scrape tweet from the creator that we want, or you can scrape tweet from yourself. And then we're going to use make.com to process that data that Apify scraped to create this fine-tuned training document that we can then use on OpenAI to fine-tune the model. On Apify, you can use the free plan. On make.com, you can also use the free plan. But on OpenAI, you need to add some credits. You can put just $5 in there. You will get some balance so you can fine-tune your model. It will cost around 80 cents, something like that. Depends on the size of the dataset. But yeah, let's move on. Now guys, what I'm going to show you is how you can create an automation that will automatically create for us the fine-tuning document. So we don't have to manually create those JSON lines and add the data manually. So this automation will create the training document for us automatically. And the first thing we have to do is create an account inside of Apify because Apify is the platform that we're going to use to scrape tweets. So you go to apify.com and you create a new account. You sign up, you do all of that stuff, and then it will open the dashboard like this. Then you want to go to the Figma board here. You can access it on the free resource hub in the description and click on this link and it will open the actor that we are going to use for this automation. Now guys, here inside of the actor you have two main options. The first one is you can provide a handle for the Twitter profile that you want to scrape tweets from. So if you want to scrape tweets from Imangazi, you go to his profile, you copy the handle and you paste it here. Now the second option you have is you can select specific tweets that you want to scrape from. So you can just manually look them up and just open a new tab. So you just keep scrolling and seeing which tweets you want to scrape from. After you selected all of them, you can just go ahead and copy the URL, go to Apify, paste the URL, add a new one, paste the other tweet here, and so on until you provide around 100 tweets. So 100 tweets is a good number. But if you don't want to provide URLs for the tweets, as I said, you can just provide a Twitter handle and it will scrape in this case, the top tweets from Imangazi. Here on the maximum number of items on output, you can specify how many tweets you want to get. In this case, I selected 100. So now go ahead and select the best use case for you. If you want to scrape specific tweet, you go here to the start URLs field and you add manually the URLs for the tweets that you want to scrape. Otherwise, you just provide here the Twitter handle for that profile and it will scrape all the tweets from it and you are good to go. So after you fill out this field, you also have these other options here. So you can filter tweet, you can select the tweet language, you can select only verified users, only Twitter Blue, only video, quotes, only image tweet, etc. Here on a query wizard, you also have a bunch of options. I would say the best option here is the start and end date. The other options you are probably not going to use. And then here on the advanced options, you don't have to do anything. And the run options, you also don't have to do anything. So after you provide all the information necessary, you can go ahead and save and start this actor. So the run was successful. We got the result that we want, but keep in mind that if you are not on the Apify Pro plan, you will only get 10 results per run. So you can see here, I'm on a free plan, so I only got 10 tweets scraped. Now, as I told you, 10 examples to fine-tune a model is not a great number. So you can do what I did, which is I selected 100 tweets from Imangazi. So what I did is I scrolled through his profile and selected the best tweets to fine-tune the model. For example, you see here that this tweet is not great to fine-tune the model. This tweet is not relevant and it will not help the AI generate content. So that's why I did not use the handle on the, so here on the actor, as I said, you can provide the handle and say the maximum number of items on output and it will scrape all the tweets, right? But because Imangazi has these tweets that are not valuable to fine-tune the model with, I decided to manually select which tweets like this. So I just opened on a new tab and then I manually copied and pasted into the file like this. And after I did that 100 times, I get this file with all of the tweets. And you don't need to pay for Apify because now you can just go ahead here, bulk edit, and select the first 10 tweets that you got, click set, save and start. After the actor runs, you can go ahead, bulk edit, take them out, and do it again with the next 10 tweets. Now, this will only work if you have the next automation that I'm going to show you, that it's this one right here. Now, what you want to do is go to make.com and create a new scenario. So make.com is an automation platform. So you want to create an account or use your account and go here, create a new scenario, and you are going to import the blueprint which has the full automation already built out for you. And this blueprint is available on my free resource hub. So you go to these three dots, import blueprint, choose file. You select the blueprint that says Apify Tweet Scraper, save, and the automation will appear. Now here on the Apify, you have to create a webhook. I already have my webhook, but for you it will appear something like this. So you're going to create your webhook, you're going to create a connection to your Apify account. To connect your Apify account to Make, you just go to this link. So on Apify, you go to this link, you copy the API token, and you paste it here when creating a connection to Apify. So you paste here the API token, save, and it will create a connection for you. Now here on the actor, you want to select the API Dojo tweet scraper, which is the actor that we are using, right? Now note that it will only show the actors that you have recently used. So in this list here, it will only show the actors that you have recently used. So make sure to run the actor once so it can show here on this list. So here you just select the tweet scraper, save, click OK, and move on. Now the second module is creating the document that we are going to use for fine-tuning. So this module here is simply creating an empty document for us that we will then fill out with the information with the JSON line. So this is just creating an empty document. I can run this module only to show you that. So it's creating a document. So if I go here, it's created a document with this name and the date. So this name is weird because there are requirements for the file name. So here it says requirements for the file name, all text in lowercase and no spaces. That's why here we have all this text in lowercase and everything with dashes instead of spaces. And if you click on the module, you can see the name here. So tweets data for fine-tuning, and then we have a format date here. So I'm giving the current date and time, formatting that date to this format here, and I'm replacing any space that the date may have with a dash. And with this lower function here, I'm converting all characters into lowercase, so OpenAI doesn't give us an error when we are trying to upload our document to fine-tune the model. The content here, the value must not be empty. That's why I add here a simple space. So if I go here, you can see that it has a space here. So, just to not be empty. Now the third module here is the system prompt. So this is creating a variable called system prompt that we will later use in these modules. And you can see this is the prompt that we are going to use. You can obviously change it. Now we have another Apify module, but this time we are getting the data that we scraped. So this webhook here does not return the tweets that we scraped. That's why we use this get dataset items module to get all the tweets that we scraped. So here on the dataset ID, we provide the dataset ID from the webhook. It's right here, and it will return all the tweets that we scraped. Now the next module, we are generating the posts topic. So if you remember, we need to have the tweets topic. So we want to say write a tweet about, and then the tweets topic. So that's exactly what I tell ChatGPT to do. Here on this prompt, I'm telling ChatGPT to generate the tweet topic, always starting with write a tweet about, and then the topic, and then in the style of Imangaji. So I can actually test this out. So if I click OK, run this module only, I can go here and copy a random tweet from Imangaji, copy, go back here, paste the tweet, and it will generate the text that we want. So write a tweet about, and then the tweet's topic in the style of Imangaji. That's how we are going to fill the user prompt for every JSON line on our fine-tuning document. Now this module here is simply sleeping for 1 second because these three modules will be running multiple times because we have multiple tweets, and sometimes if they run too fast, it will trigger an error by OpenAI. So we are just sleeping for 1 second before moving forward. This is to not exceed the OpenAI rate limit for the API. So this is just a little safety here, so we do not get an error from OpenAI because we are making too many requests. Okay, so we are just sleeping for a second here. And then finally, we are simply appending the JSON line to our fine-tuning document. So here, like every single JSON line, it starts like this, and then we add the system prompt. So it's the variable from the other module here. Then the user content, we have the output from ChatGPT. So this text here will be inside of here. So this green variable is the output from ChatGPT. We are replacing every quotation line with a single quotation line. So here I say there are a couple of requirements for each JSON line. So these JSON lines here for the fine-tuning document, they have requirements. They have to be written in a specific way. And there are two main requirements. The first one is that, so these variables here, they cannot have quotation marks. And if they do, we have to replace them with single quotation marks. And every new line inside of the tweet has to be replaced with the new line character, which is this one. And that's exactly what we are doing with all of these functions. So here we are replacing every single quotation mark inside of the output from ChatGPT with a single quotation mark. Then here on the assistant's content, we have the actual tweet, and we want to replace any quotation marks again with a single quotation mark. And we also want to replace any new lines with the new line character, which is this one. So it will look something like this, as I have here in the examples. We can see that we have multiple new line characters. So it's just replacing those new lines with these characters. So then the AI model knows when to add a new line when creating a new tweet. So I'm just going to click OK here, and we can now run this automation. So you can just turn on the automation, go back to Apify, select the options that you want, as I told you, save and start. And after a succeeded run, we can go back to the automation, and we can see that it started creating all the different JSON lines inside of our document. So as I told you, these three modules will run multiple times because we have multiple tweets that we scraped. So we can now go back to Google Docs. Because it created a new document here, I'm gonna open that document. It's filling the document with the JSON lines. So now we have the document with all of the content, all the JSON lines ready to be used for the fine-tuning of the AI model. I can just delete this line here, and the document is ready to use for fine-tuning. Now I'm going to give you a trick if you don't want to pay for Apify. So obviously we don't want only 10 examples. So after you give the model 10 examples, because you cannot add more because you don't have Apify Pro plan, right? So you go back to the actor, you bulk edit, you delete this, you select the other tweets that you have, you click set, and before saving and starting, you actually have to change a little bit of the automation because this is going to create a new document every time you run the actor. So, and we don't want to do that. We want to add those tweets to the same document. So you can just unlink this, move this up here, connect these modules, and here on the last module, instead of document ID here, you do by dropdown, and you select the same document that we created before. I'm gonna say tweets, it's this one. So next time we run this automation, it will append to the existing document that we have. So I go back here to Apify, I have the new tweets that I want to scrape, only 10 because I cannot add more because I'm not in the Pro plan. I click save and start again. It will run this automation again. Okay, got 10 results. It just needs to update here. We got 10 results. It's running the automation, and it did not create a new document, but it's appending to our existing document, and we can see that in real time. So you just do that 10 times with all of the tweets that you have, and you will have the full document ready to fine-tune the model, and you don't have to pay for Apify, which is like 40 bucks. But if you want to pay for Apify, you can just use the automation as it is, and you just need to run the actor once, and the fine-tuning document will be created right there. So here's the document that I created a couple of days ago with around 100 posts from Inmangadi. So now what you want to do after you get the fine-tuning document like this is go to File, download, and we're gonna download it as txt. Now what we need to do is change the file format to JSON-L. So you just select the file, you click F2, you press F2 and change it to JSON-L. And now we have a valid JSON file to train the AI model. One thing you can do to make sure that the contents of the file are all set up correctly is open the file with the code editor like Visual Studio Code, and you can just zoom out a little bit and you can just take a quick look and see if everything is all right. I can see that there are no red indicators. So for example, if I come here and I add quotation marks, you can see that now it's red. That's why we need to replace those quotation marks with a single quotation mark like this. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So if I do this, we have red. That's not good. It's gonna OpenAI is gonna give you an error. That's why inside of make we have those functions that replace the quotation marks with single quotation marks. You can also see that we have these new line characters, so the AI model will understand when to create a new line when generating new tweets. So now that we have the training document ready, we can go to the platform on OpenAI and create a fine-tuning job. So you want to go to platform.openai, you click on fine-tuning, and you want to create a new job. Now we need to select the model. I recommend selecting the most recent models that OpenAI has available for you to fine-tune. In this case, I'm going to say the GPT-4o mini, which is great, or you can also choose GPT-4o, the normal model. After selecting the model, we provide the training document. So you select the JSON-L file, click OK, and it's uploading the document. And now we simply add a name to it. So I'm going to say YouTube. And now we just have to click create, and OpenAI will fine-tune the model with our dataset. This will probably take around 15 minutes. It depends on the size of the dataset. I will check with you guys again once the job is finished. If you are having any problems or any errors from OpenAI when trying to fine-tune a model, leave a comment down below and I'll try to help you, okay? So the fine-tuning job has successfully finished, so we can now test our new fine-tuned model. You can go to Playground here, you're going to chat and you're going to select the fine-tuned model. You're going to search by the name that you gave, so you can see that we have 3 different models that we can choose. I'm just going to select the one that has the higher step here. So, and then now on the system prompt, we're going to paste the same prompt that we used for every single JSON line. So if you go to the document, I can just go here, or you can go to the make.com automation. So you can go to the automation, copy the system prompt and paste it here. I think you can change the system prompt, but it's great to keep the same system prompts. And we do this because we want the model to be able to learn based on our specific system prompt. So when we use it again, which is right now, we are using that prompt again. So here we're going to use the same system prompt. We will get the results that we want. So use the same system prompt that you used for the fine-tuning document and paste it here on the system prompt. Now we need to provide the user input. Now what you want to do is copy as well the user input from one of the examples that you gave, paste it here, and now we just need to change here the topic about the tweet. So now we say write a tweet about, and we write down the new idea, the new topic that we have for our new tweet, and it will hopefully write that new tweet, that new idea in the style of Inmangazi. So I'm going to write down here a random idea that I have. Going to the gym is never a bad option. Let's see how this fine-tuned AI model comes up with. I forgot to change the temperature, so the model was kind of stupid here, but I'm gonna put it in 0.6 and try it again. So I can clean this up, do this. You can, change these variables, tweak around to see what works best. But I reduced the temperature here to see if we get a better result. Now, actually, the tweet is way better. So going to the gym is never a bad option. You will either get big, stronger, faster, healthier. I don't know what this means. The AI keeps adding this to the tweets. More attractive, or you will get a break from your phone and think of all the things that you need to do. you can't lose. So this is a great tweet, and it copied the style of Inmangazi, and this is a great example of how powerful fine-tuning is. So that's it, guys. We went through everything. So I told you what fine-tuning is, how to create our fine-tuning document and prepare the dataset, all automatically with the help of Apify and Make.com. Apify to script the tweets and Make.com to create the fine-tuning document. And then I showed you how to upload that document to OpenAI so we can test our fine-tuned model. If you would like access to this Figma board that explains everything but in text, you can go down to the first link in the description or the second and get all of this for free in my free resource hub. I hope you found this video valuable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any trouble fine-tuning your model, you can leave a comment down below. I will try to help you. Yeah, see you in the next video.